Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, we've got one of the most incredible things I think I've ever seen in a free-to-play series, a free-to-play account, in all of the years of doing this. I think this has got to be the fastest Lydia ever. Today I'm joined by Souls. He's going to take us through some of his strategies that he went through, and we're actually going to look through the different teams that he used to pull off this crazy feat. Souls, welcome to the channel. How you doing?
Yeah, hey, thank you. I'm great. I'm done with the faction wars today.
I mean, I know you've been involved in a few of the free-to-play challenges that I've put on, but I just give people a little bit of a sense of, how long have you played the game for, and yeah, what's your experience of this kind of like free-to-play world?
Yeah, sure. I think I started when Iron Braga was a fusion, so it's 4 years ago, more or less. And I remember the first competition we had in the Hell Hades competition. I was so satisfied having done faction wars in like 8 months or something. And then I met people like Billups and stuff that were just doing crazy stuff. And yeah, I've tried to better myself since then and improve my...
And this particular year, you were basically up there as one of the top free-to-play challenges, I guess, throughout the whole community, right?
Yeah, I had some kind of issues when trying to record Doom Tower. So my points wasn't saving and then it reset. So I kind of quit actually trying for points and just playing along. But I didn't try to like push all the speeds for dungeons and stuff and do highest damage for higher and stuff. All those kinds of things.
Yeah, cool. Well, so we're now on day. Just check here. In terms of login days, you're day 103, and you basically messaged me yesterday and were like, look, I'm going to try and get Lydia today. I was like, damn, we need to have a chat and just see how the hell you've managed to do that. So I guess before we go into the different teams that you built out, I guess, yeah, are there any kind of like overriding strategies that you used for this free-to-play to enable you to get a Lydia so quick?
Well, Faction Wars is beaten content. You can know the most of the strategies are you can see videos and stuff on it, but to do it fast, you kind of need charge and you need energy, and you need to be able to use them efficiently. So you can't like invest too many 6 stars in the same faction.
Sure.
So I try to like hold myself back from building some champs. And like try to make it work with a 5-star or a 4-star in the earlier cases.
Yeah.
And when I'm done with when you're done with the faction, you're done. So you don't have to like reinvest all that energy into that again. So you kind of have you get less and less factions that you actually need to like put your energy into. So yeah, I just try to get something done and then take it step by step.
And I guess like what you're saying there, so. Firstly, actually, it's the first time I've looked at your account. I see you got a mythical, dude. Like a mythical in the first 100 days. What the hell is that?
Yeah, that's I was saving all my primal charge. So I had like 14 charge for the 2x, and it finally happened. And I pulled nothing. And then really? Rob, he pulled like tons of shit. So I was kind of rage pulling, and I just got one more primal, but it wasn't 2x anymore. And
brilliant, man.
Got it done.
The Hive Lord, and someone like the Hive Lord, generally probably one of the worst mythicals out there, or pretty low. But actually, for something like a Faction Wars, his second form is like
fantastic. Yeah,
straight insane control. Like he's probably, when Hard Faction Wars comes out, I imagine he's going to be basically top tier because of all of the crowd control that he brings. But yeah, interesting. Okay, well,
I think for him as well, he's not one of the worst for an end game account, but for a early account, just look at his passive. You remove 30% of the defense. You get crazy stats. Yeah, it's a good pick for an early account.
Yeah, good point actually. Interesting. Okay, nice. Well, I see you've got some pretty crazy blessings as well, but I guess these are you've done events to get these. I've been
farming Iron Twins 15 for over a month. I put a lot of effort into it, but yeah, I mean, you got a bit lucky as well, huh?
Yeah, so, you just got to hope that luck pays off. Well, I guess let's go into some of these teams then. So we're just going to run through team by team. Talk us through your strategy. Do you know offhand which was your first faction?
Yeah, I sent them in the order I actually completed them because I had the screenshots on the phone.
Yeah, so
this is the first one. And
I should have got them in the right order then. Yeah, okay. Okay, so Ogryn Tribes, first one. Do you remember roughly like how long you've been playing the game at this point?
it was quite late actually because I spent for about 1.5 months. I didn't pull any really good champs.
Yeah.
And then I got the mythical and the Grassor in like a couple of weeks. So this should be like 1.5 months into the free to play.
Yeah, and I guess the interesting thing with Faction Wars is you gradually kind of build up, right? And you're just doing your runs. You're making sure that you're progressing as much as you can each time. And then eventually you get to a point where it's like, well, I've got enough gear now that I can start moving gear from one faction to the next. And I can start to really invest in the right champs to get it done. So I'd imagine they actually dominoed quite quickly after each other once you start to get your foundations in place and start to work out which champs you're going to go for.
Yeah, especially when you get the free re-gears. Like, imagine you have just half your factions left. You can just focus everything into those factions and then, like, you change into the free re-gear stuff. Yeah, and you kind of know when it's about to happen as well. It's about the end of Sintranas or, like, the middle part at least. You can plan for that stuff.
Yeah, this is something else I wanted to talk about as well, because I think this is going to be really important for anyone who's already got Lydia and they're trying to do Faction Wars hard soon, but pushing live arena to get Faction War bonuses. I mean, I guess that must have been part of your initial thinking, initial strategy to be able to get this done that quick.
Yeah, for sure. And it's so cheap as well. It's a tier 1, so you get like for every Hydra investment, you get like 4 Faction Wars investments.
Yeah, sure.
So, and it's permanent. Like, you imagine you have 15 factions and 4 champs for every faction. It's 60 champions you're boosting on a weekly basis.
Yeah, and it's like basically having extra pieces of gear on at this point. The amount of extra stats you've got here, I guess it's kind of like running probably an extra 2 pieces of gear per champion in terms of stats.
Yeah, and that's the hard part in the start as well. When you start getting the things done, you won't have like the best gear. You won't always have 200 accuracy for every champion. You need to have it on. So getting some early accuracy into live arena was very useful.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so talk us through strategies then. What are you thinking of with this team? Is there a particular gear set you always use? Is it always about having a revive? Like, talk us through the Ogryn Tribes here.
So for Ogryn, it's Hugo has this nice thing that if everyone dies, you can always rest the rest.
Yeah.
If we are very tanky, you can always make it through Ogryns. I think Ogryn Tribes is the one of the factions that I normally always finish first, or High Elves with Arbiter. Because you can like muscle your way through it if you have the right champs.
And did you always have like a shield set or something like that?
Yeah, we had some bolster event, the bolster pass, and I went like hard into every mythical charm in the forge, and tried to get the perfect pieces, and used all my reroll tokens into getting a good bolster set.
Yeah. So, do you know who's wearing it right now? Just out of interest.
I'm guessing Mithrala maybe.
Just curious, like how what you push for, I guess. So
sets around so much.
Yeah,
I
can imagine.
Brought her up today as well, so I haven't really finished her. But
but ultimately, you're looking for speed and HP.
I mean, the normal things is you have a shield or a bolster set, and then you have some kind of CC set like a stun set.
Yeah, and did you try and run shield and bolster, or just the bolster set?
Nah, I haven't done it. No. It hasn't been necessary. I have used stun and provoke set or taunting set. So 2 different kind of CC sets, which is kind of nice with this new marketplace as well. You can pick up some good pieces that you haven't maybe farmed.
I'll tell you what, actually, I would say that is one of my favorite updates. Although the pieces are expensive, it's like even on my main account, I'm actually now interested in the market. I've been talking about this for a long time, but like it was such a worthwhile change or interesting change, I think, for the game. So yeah, so you've basically gone for interesting. This is cool to see, like pure speed, even though there are
You can pull up
flat HP set of
Fellhound and
gloves.
see. That's the final faction, the Demonspawn. But yeah, I
Yeah,
had
like
like 250
250
speed and just that.
Yeah, that's nice, man. Yeah,
Because
very cool. Very
some
cool.
factions are really hard for the waves and have easy bosses. Like getting through triple Valkyrie waves is kind
Yeah.
of hard if you can't control everyone, you just die in one shot.
So I guess just looking at this then, if I'm trying to like suss out what you're doing here, I guess you've got someone like a Bellower in a stun set. You've got someone like a Brazier, probably just for the provokes. Like you say, Udo's going to bring them back up if you drop. And then probably, most of your damage is just in Shrank. You've got like 160 that is going to bring the damage. I guess Brazier brings damage as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of you'll see a common theme, like normal two 6 stars, and I put them in my best gear and make them carry the rest.
Yeah,
and
so 2 6 stars
the level
specific
4...
damage dealers, or just 2 6 stars generally?
Or some control.
Yeah.
But I try to like keep the best 5-man teams of my champs. And if I get a replacement, like if I got something better than Bellower, that's a 5-star chicken just waiting to be changed out later.
Yeah.
And that will be a theme throughout, especially the early factions. I have several of them.
So that's the question.
Yeah.
So this was the first one you beat. Did you end up feeding the champions that you used to speed up the other factions?
No, I haven't had any.
Yeah, okay.
I kept 5-man in every faction.
Yeah.
And they just stay as a replacement if I get something better.
Crazy. Okay, let's move on to the next one then. So, so you've got Sabbather here. This is Night Rev. Sabbather here as a 60, which would have been the early fusion, right? Damn, 3 4-stars here. 3 4-stars, not even ascended. Literally just using the Queen of Hearts to do the lot. Is that it? And Sabbather keep bringing people up.
Yeah, and I won the Queen of Hearts through the 2x Sacred guaranteed. I went hard for that, just with summons with Esme and Arbiter and Broadmaw and every trick you kind of usually talk about. And I won that champion. And for this, yeah, I kind of, because she's so powerful, even if it's a really hard faction, you can just, at the end, you just dress Malkith with Sabbatha, and he rests the other 2, and then you just kill the boss.
Yeah, so Malkith has got the revive. So basically, were you just letting these 3 die?
Yeah, until the end.
Yeah. That's clever, man. That's clever. You could almost run them naked, couldn't you? It's literally not quite. Oh, I guess not quite, but I guess put one of them in a bolster set because why not?
Yeah.
I guess Talisia at least gives you a drop defense, so you may as well use her. But
Queen of Hearts also does a May one.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But she's a chicken. She's a chicken that helped
literally
me.
A chicken. Damn.
Yeah.
Awesome,
I kept her, but she's a chicken.
Yeah. So basically 2 chickens. Someone did Malkith even have like much in the way of gear?
Yeah, he had some gear. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes he needed to take like 1 hit or so.
Yeah.
That's crazy, nice thing about Sabbatha as well. He gives you more or less an instant turn. So you rest someone, instant turn, rest someone else, and then kill the boss. So,
yeah, I love that. Love that strat. Sabbatha actually I thought was one of my favorite champions from my free to play. I just, even after I got Arbiter, I still felt like Sabbatha was like my better go-to champion for a lot of content. So yeah,
Night Rev is kind of hard because you get the triple Valkyrie waves at the end as well. But Queen of Hearts is just insane champion. They do the counter attack, and then she just cleanses everything.
Nice. Okay, let's move on. What we got here? So your third one you cleared, Bannerlords. Okay, so you've got 16. Was Sigmund your original champion that you chose?
Yeah, I saw Billups do it, and he worked so well, so I had to pick him as well. Yeah, I actually restarted to pick Sigmund because he was showing so strong.
Oh, did you?
See,
I went through, I don't know how I did it, but I went through all of the promo codes that were available. And for some reason, I didn't even clock that Sigmund was there. I didn't even see it. Like, I don't know how. I just glanced over it. And obviously, I went for Taradi, which was still a good pick. But I do feel like Sigmund, certainly for the early game, and probably for Faction Wars here, was
like a massive
so
carry.
strong. Yeah. But you got a Stag Knight, which you took up to 60 as well. And then, I just took us through the other picks.
Yeah, unique for Bannerlords, you get the one shot ad, the ad that like one shots you.
Yeah.
So you need to have just people that keep it stunned. So both Giscard and Signy, I think both had the stun set.
Oh,
just
did they?
to like make sure he never took a turn. And then Sigmund obviously have a lot of like protection and survivability for the other.
Yeah. So you were just relying on RNG from a stun set to be able to keep the ads
I guess,
under control.
I guess for if you want to do it fast for Faction Wars, it's gameplay. It's not like the auto click. You need to do the fight, and I mean, once you do it, Then
it's done. Yeah, that's it.
Fast.
I mean, I see here you took 30 minutes, but like you say, I had plenty of Doom Tower waves that took me this sort of time, but it's like once you've done it, you move on to the next level. You've got your reward.
One
of the things that's worth calling out for this stage of the game, I mean, because you've beaten it so fast, you've obviously got Lydia, but you've also got a ton of rewards along the way.
Yeah.
You get a ton of stuff from Faction Wars if you can beat it.
So I actually worked out this both last year and this year. I've gotten for every day. I get for every 4 days. I get 3 legendary books. So over 3 months' time, you actually get 65, 70 books, maybe more.
Wow, that's crazy.
So you get a lot if you push all content. You get so much books.
Yeah,
so many books.
Interesting. Okay, but ultimately, would you say, I guess, discard Signy could just be anyone as long as they've got some sort of stunt capability?
Signy is a defense-based champion. It's better to have the attack-based champions can't take a single hit normally, even if you have protection gear and stuff.
Yeah, so you've gone for defense-based champions as you like.
Fodder. some tanker at least. If I have an option, if I'm choosing between two chickens, I'm using the one that can take a hit.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Okay, let's have a look then at your undead. So, did you do the fusion, the Fabian fusion?
Yeah, and I did the 5-star path as well.
Wow, that's crazy. Actually, that was hard. That was hard.
Yeah,
man.
and Fabian is so strong as well. He had the Terminator steel. And listen cycle up on the boss. Yeah.
Yeah, because you've got here, I guess Gordorab only at 5-star, but I guess he can revive your whole team. He's like a mini arbiter, so as long as you build him a bit tanky, I guess. Is that what you were doing? Tanking and pick the others up towards the end?
This is the dueler boss, the one that ignores defense and just one-shots you. I mean, he do one big hit and then...
Yeah.
The thing about that boss is if you have someone that's low HP, he won't actually do an AoE. He will just use his A1 to kill that mob. So if you delay the boss's turn enough, you can just rest people and then they get A1, and then you delay and rest people, and he does just instead of doing AoE fair and fucking you up, he just continually just getting the same chance over and over.
So you're basically using Bolthers as like a hit ram just coming at you with the A1s. I guess you'll then turn meter control in as well with
this is a hard faction though. If you don't have Gore Grab, you're
in trouble.
Struggling. I did this with the rare reviver last year, and it's painful.
Yeah, it's also quite a hard faction to beat up the waves, isn't it? Like there's not much in the way of drop defense in this faction, so
until you get Fabian and just continuously CC everything.
Yeah, nice. Okay, cool.
But that's kind of what you need to do. You need to use what you get, I guess.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, I think that's what's impressive about getting Lydia so quick is you have to use what you get, but across such a wide range of the game. You know, sometimes it's like, okay, well, I can use what I get to beat a Doom Tower boss, but I'm choosing from all of my champs. Whereas in this, it's like, okay, what have I been given in this specific faction that, you know, creates this kind of like puzzle pieces to put together. That's why I always find this is one of the most interesting things that people do fast. Like it's a lot of dedication actually to get this done.
You see, this is the same theme for this faction as well. Like you have someone to keep you alive. You also notice that the factions I completed early, this is the factions that have the good champions early as well. Like Jorg and Vrask, those together just can keep you alive for the bosses and the waves. You just need to get there to the boss.
And then Zargala was your main damage dealer here.
Yeah, and I pulled Bells just before this, but he could have been another champ as well. He didn't really do much except have 2 AoE attacks for stun set.
Yeah, as I said, I can't even remember what Bells even does, honestly.
Yeah, you're not alone.
Yeah, but ultimately then, so where I guess you've got some turn meter control in 2-hack a little bit, but you say so it's kind of just Ras coming back out. Is he in like retaliation gear here and just?
He wasn't at the time, but he's a really. I tried to get retaliation gear, but I didn't really get any from the market and stuff. But,
right.
Vrask is just such a big carry because he'll out heal the boss damage if you give him enough HP. You just need to make him fast enough, and he'll out heal the boss. So if you get through the waves, Vrask is like the massive carry.
Cool. Okay. So we're on to what? We're almost like coming up for halfway through here.
This is probably
Shadowkin.
2 months and a week into it.
Yeah. And
the Yintoro was the one good thing I got from all my 14 primal charges. I got Blues and Yintoro.
Yeah, Jintoro obviously bringing a lot of damage. In fact, looking at the numbers here, he's bringing all your damage for this run. Yeah. Hatatsu pretty solid. I guess King Higashi as a bit of a protector. What about Tomo and Surin here? Are they fodder or is there a reason they're in?
They have some cool like turn meter up stuff and decrease attack. This is the dueler boss again that targets one enemy and ignore the defense. So it's hard to make sure you're alive unless you have like decrease attack and maybe rest and stuff.
Yeah. Is there? I can't place
Tomo,
where the res is. Is there a res here? King Higashi res.
Yeah, King Higashi has one. Yeah. Tomo Yintoro is kind of fun because Yintoro gets more turn meter and Tomo just increases even more turn.
Okay. So there's a bit of synergy there between the two. Cool. And then you've got speed aura. Is that generally the theme as well? Speed auras where you can.
Yeah, if it's possible, yeah.
Yeah. Nice. So again, like 50, 50, 50, and then 2 6-stars. What's going on with this one, dude? Like, Sylvan Watchers,
this is
4 rares. 4 rares and an epic. And only 1 6-star on the group.
And this is every Sylvan champion I had at the time. I didn't have much. So I had to work with it. And this was kind of pushing it as well. Just decrease defense with Flannan and just going crazy.
A triple Flannan effort. I love it. And I guess, I mean, Not's good. You know, one of the better rares in the game now. Creodan is brilliant in terms of crowd control. So I guess Creodan's getting you through the waves. What's Flannan doing? Why a triple Flannan?
He decreases turn meter and he decreases speed. And he's just a crazy. It's one of the coolest rares actually, because he has 1 personnel attack. He has an extra turn. He just goes off. I think it's underrated rare. It's so cool.
Yeah, I see. Even for rares, I guess some of them you did, but not booked out or anything. You literally just
you get so few rare books though. You get like some in the start, and then you're toast.
That's actually true. It's very difficult now. They changed the game a lot. It's very difficult to get those rare books coming in. And I guess for anyone who's trying to replicate what you're doing here, what's your kind of like general go-to build if it's not a stun set or, you know, a bolster set? Are you?
It's just HP and speed and accuracy, unless they have something special. I think I have one of the planets in the not anymore, but I had them in a poison set because I have 0 damage. Cridem does no damage.
Yeah,
Planet,
true. Yeah,
no damage. Not it does no damage. So I had to get some damage out of the poison, and it does work because you get the ally attack and you get like mecha turns and stuff. So yeah.
But I guess perception becomes the lifeblood. You know, the stats you're talking about there: speed, accuracy, perception becomes the lifeblood of a lot of your builds. I would have thought, and I guess now you've got, you know, the odd feral piece. You've got the odd, I guess, event dungeon piece to pinpoint stuff. So pushing the accuracy and speed, it's not as hard as it used to be, but
no, not at all.
Yeah,
especially with the live arena, you get like extra 20 or something, like 15.
Yeah. But this is literally like a spread across the board. Everyone's pulling their weight with some damage because nobody's doing damage. That's such a crazy team to win with, man. Like 25 minutes. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had no other options. If I wanted to complete it, I had to do something crazy. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I love that. Love that. Okay, let's go on then to Skinwalkers here. So
this is quite
I guess
late.
you first completed it without
recent
a 3-star.
fusion.
Sorry, say again.
Yeah. No, this is like just a few weeks ago because you see, I had Yusan, the current, the new one.
And then so you're using Nullhorn at a 40, 2 4-star, 2 40s basically here.
Yep.
And then all of the damage coming from Gwendolyn, yeah.
This is also a very funny team because Tolog has a lot of healing, Yusan has a lot of healing, Nullhorn has the unkillable. So
yeah,
no one dying, but it's slow until you get like a free gear, re-gear for Gwendolyn.
So are you just cycling Provoke and Unkillable and Nullhorn before he could die? What's Yuzan in there for? What's Yuzan doing here?
It's just healing.
Just healing.
To stay alive.
So basically got a team of healers, a team of healers, one person crowd controlling everything, and then Gwendolyn coming in with your damage.
Yeah.
And what about for the boss here?
Yeah, Gwendolyn is a really cool champion. She does all the work. Yeah, to decrease speed and stuff.
Yeah. Cool.
I think I pushed her to Giant Slayer just to get damage because I had no damage in the faction.
Right, okay. Yeah, because that's the other thing, like, what people won't appreciate, so few of your champions have got full masteries here because it's just not feasible to do it. Are you...
I think one of them has books at that point as well.
Yeah, and are you like doing the first couple of tiers of masteries on some of these, or are you just ignoring masteries?
When I need to, I do it because, I mean, you have to do Minotaur one time and then you get some extra defense and some extra accuracy or HP.
Yeah.
So when it was necessary, I did. When I like failed a couple of times, and I felt like I'm not going to progress without like a little step boost.
Yeah, but like you say, it's quite cheap to get those first couple of tiers, and sometimes that can be enough to make the difference when you're doing this type of strat. This is really impressive, man. Okay, let's move on to the High Elves. So this is probably, for most people, the easiest one. Maybe this one or the Barbarians, but one of the easier ones to finish.
I did it super late as well. I don't know really why. I didn't feel like I needed to invest in it. I had the 1-star on stage 21, and it wasn't any stress to get the last piece. So when we had the free re-gear recently, I just changed up everything and went in.
Yeah, because you've got... So your 2 6-stars here are actually 2 supports, but I guess you don't need 6-star on someone like an Ellen Ariel because her damage doesn't come from necessarily hitting, it comes from her abilities.
I think I picked the Gnarl from start from the promo code stuff.
Oh, okay.
And the link code, and this is the only time I really used it.
Yeah, right. And Skaramis here. So Skaramis is actually someone I called out in my video yesterday.
Yeah,
really good, like control.
I'm
champ.
dying to gear him up. I haven't been able to because I kind of had the faction sorted already. But yeah, he can be both a taunt and mischief tank for Hydra. It's super strong.
Yeah, and were you using like stun sets on someone like a Huntsman here? I see he's low level. Was he in there, or was he more fodder?
Yeah, a mix of it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And again, I guess a very tanky Arbiter, probably a very fast Arbiter and a fast Apothecary, just keeping people alive.
Yeah, and this boss is just, you can't really fail and if you save the rest at the very end, and then just rest with low HP and kill it.
Yeah. Okay. Here comes the bug. So Dark Elves, I feel like every account that I've seen in this free-to-play, and it's all people that have done well, but I feel like every account has got a Cold Heart in this free-to-play series somehow.
Yeah, I have 3 or 4 of them, and I haven't used them.
Yeah. So this is the one you leveled out the most, 5-star.
Yeah. I had Epidus, so I kind of feel stupid to level another.
Yeah.
I had to make it work. I think the crazy part here is Mithrala, because I got Mithrala in
damn, I didn't even realize.
2 days.
That's mad.
Yeah, I kind of ran 3 teams for the last month of the challenge. I so wanted to get Mithrala before the final 3 months, and then you announced we're gonna have 12 weeks.
So I kind of missed out. That's my bad. So it took you about 3 months from starting the game to get Mithrala.
Yes.
That's mad as well. Yeah. So are you also close then to the Chimera? Because I felt like my Chimera shards were coming in at a similar rate to. Oh no, you're not. I felt like I was getting similar.
Very well in Chimera. It's mostly because this rotation sucks. It's hard to have magic nukers for this rotation.
Sure. Okay, interesting. But that's mad. Mithrala that early is actually mad. So Lydia and Mithrala like 100 days in. Crazy.
I hard committed to Mithrala early. I was doing brutal Hydra with just Alice and Husk for damage.
Yeah.
Because you can get the 1 star in this faction quite easily, but it's just very dependent on your champions if you can get the 3 star. As soon as someone dies, it's a mess.
Yeah, because you've got
Mithrala kind of handles all that.
You've got no reviving here, so you're just using Mithrala's shields, I guess, to keep people up and obviously a strengthen. You don't really have a lot of healing actually either.
No, the boss fears you, I think. So everyone gets feared for 2 turns, and you're stuck just missing your skills, and then someone dies, and unless you have Mithrala, she just comes in, cleans up all of the buffs, and you're good to go.
Yeah. So she just cleanses that off because I guess you've got with enough resistance to deal with it, and then with the accuracy and resistance together, and then everyone just gets their abilities away.
Obviously, I didn't know I would get like a super mega carry for this faction. Epidus just can see everything. He's super easy for waves.
Yeah.
But for Mithrala, if you want to survive the 3 Whelp waves with the Dark Elves, you kind of want that hex that make them petrify themselves, the Whelks.
Ah, okay.
And so that's why I committed so hard, because I knew this one would be hard. I wanted the petrification for the super shields.
Yeah, makes sense. But like say, they got the bug, which just blew that away anyway. But the tactic was always there. Yeah. I guess the other thing which I've done for other people is, I guess you just have to bring in things like stun sets and try and get lucky. At least get lucky enough to be able to take one out. Control and stun is the way to give yourself a chance if you don't have the normal stuff.
Last year, I think I did it in the challenge. I did it with like Cold Heart and stun set, Kale and stun set. Yeah.
Okay, and then we've got the lizards here. So a Broadmoor, which is obviously something you can fuse as a 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, and then Venom Mage is your 6-star.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's mad.
I think I could have made it with Venom Mage at the 5-star as well, but this is so
yeah,
good.
I bet you could, because again, it's all about the abilities rather than how hard Venom Mage is going to hit.
And this again is the kind of same thing. This is the jeweler boss. He targets one and does ignore defense.
So who are you using just as a fodder here? Who's kind of like taking your hits?
Anyone that gets hit. But the thing is with Broadmoor, when he rests someone, they rest with like 20 HP or something, 20%.
Yeah,
but they're block damage. So
block damage, yeah.
So they can't be killed again. And then when the boss actually can kill them, he'll do the same thing. He'll ignore his skills and use his A1 instead. So this is the same thing. You can just rotate your res and avoid the ability.
Right. Just using those strats again. Love it. I love how many 50s you got in there, man. It's crazy. So we then got your Barbarians. So you did the Esme fusion as well. I guess if you're trying to go for fast faction wars or strong faction wars, any fusion is helping you out pretty much, right?
Yeah. And if you prepare for it, you can do most events. You just need to have some self-control and hold resources when you don't need to. Like for the first 1.5 months, I want to push Doom Tower. I want to push Clan Boss, but that's 5 champions, more or less, 6 champions maybe.
Yeah, once you've got that core team in place, then it's a case of start to, like you say, have some self-control.
Try to maximize your resources.
Yeah. And here, so you've got 450s again. Esme coming in, obviously, is your damage. War Maiden, I guess, and Tashada's drop defense champs.
Tashada has increased, but she's a reser, I think.
Oh, she's a reser, right, okay. Sky Touch is
I'm not sure I actually used the rest, but...
Yeah, massive healing from Sky Touched. And then, obviously, High Cocoon, just a speed champ, yeah.
And, yeah...
It's bonkers, man.
It's a lot of healing for sure. She has the revive on death as well. So if you fuck up with the healer, you can like save the situation.
Yeah. It's crazy, and I mean, I guess it's just like use what you've got, right? You could go out and farm War Maiden, you get High Cocoon for free, and those two are a good core for any team for faction wars anyway. You've got speed control, and then drop defense. So you've got 2 champions which are just very reliable. Even someone like a War Maiden you could throw into a stun set if you needed to, but those 2 are core. And then obviously it's then, well, how do I fill out the team comp that I need? So someone who's actually going to keep me alive, someone that could potentially res, and then someone who's bringing damage.
That's the fun part about these challenges you started, because when you do an end game account, you just I have the meta champions and I just click auto and that's fine. But when you actually have to like use champions that you normally wouldn't use, that's a fun part about Raid for me, I think.
Definitely, yeah. I've actually found I'm on a bit of a low coming back out of the free-to-play challenge, back onto my main account, because I just click through stuff. I'm like, I don't know. I'm almost like trying to get myself back into this mode of, well, I haven't done loads of trials on Chimera, so maybe I should do that. And I haven't, there's areas I can still challenge myself with, but I think with the free to play, you're almost challenged every day for, a good 2-3 months before it starts to get into that, I guess, more into the sort of grindy.
You're very happy when it ends, and then you're kind of sad because,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I need something else to do.
Yeah, I mean, it was intense, don't get me wrong, but it was fun. Yeah. Okay. Let's check out your Dwarves team then. So again, 1 250s this time, 3 6-stars. I guess is Demitha carrying in terms of support, and then
kind of
a combination of Morag and Gala damage.
I had like saved resources for this one. I wanted to like make it with some other champs, some easier, but I couldn't do it. Then I just invested everything into Gala to get that damage needed.
Yeah.
I'm like actually disappointed in Morag. She's for clan boss she's okay, but for general content she's kind of weak. She doesn't really do the damage I was hoping for. So
Yeah, I think a lot of people like her because she does get used a decent amount in like Sintranos, and there's not many other options for someone who can actually bring hits in those areas. But you're right, she's not like a
she's
crazy
also a
damage
champion.
dealer.
You need War Master for her to get the when she counterattacks. She actually does that extra damage.
Yeah, yeah. And I like Rock Breaker coming in here. He was always a kind of like go-to for me back in the day to just great control and good survivability. Also good for the boss.
I got the Nari the Lucky, some old. Yeah, he has actually better CC and stuff, and I was trying with him a bit. But the Rockbreaker is cool because you can just proc the ignore. Yes, there's a passive that like 20% of the time, so 25% of the time you take half damage.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah,
if you're lucky, you instead of taking like the massive big hit from the ignore defense, he is, yeah.
Yeah. This was always a go-to for me for the boss. Like the boss, like say, he does the ignore defense stuff. So having him in the mix gives you a chance to be able to at least survive that.
I was like holding some legendary books just in case, like if I can't do this,
yeah, like increase that passive.
Yeah.
Because the other thing which I always look for in this one is block debuffs to try and for the final boss.
Avoid the first. Yeah. That's the Grizzly Jarl for this one.
Yeah, nice. And then I guess Dimitha is almost like a bit of a. It's not ideal because it's a one-turn block damage, and it's hard to time that. Did you do any sort of speed tuning here, or is it just like I'll use it when it feels good?
wasn't. I wasn't really possible. I tried to do some, but then like Morag was slightly too fast, and when she just got targeted, and I didn't work out.
Cool though. 5 epics.
I have this is we talk about resistance. It's not something we talk about in the end game, but it's very useful in Faction Wars. For example, the Myth I had her in like just super fast and have resistance. So whenever everyone else gets feared, she just cleanses stuff, and that's something I kind of done on other factions as well. Use resistance to.
Generally, one champion that can clean off everyone else. Is that what you're saying?
Or S.
Yeah, that's cool. And then so the final one, which is basically the one you did in the early hours of this morning, you were saying you saying you were staying up. Excuse me, to get it done.
My heartbreak as well, because I wanted to beat the challenge. I said like the start of this challenge, I want to do Faction Wars in 90 days. That's super high goal. And then I changed my mind and said that's not possible. 100 days.
Sure.
And I was like day 92. I was just trying everything to make it work.
Yeah, because it's actually not just can you do it. It's also when is it actually open again for you, isn't it? Like you have to not just be able to do it, but like almost plan when's my next one, who am I invested in next, where do I need to put my resources, and you almost like flipping it in an order.
Yeah, and I was sitting there day 92 thinking, maybe if I fail, I can do it later and still make the 100 days. But then I got the max time. That's probably like, is it 11 or 12 days, 12 days duration.
That's brutal.
Like, yeah, that's brutal.
And talk us through this team then.
Cool anyway.
This is, I mean, there's some funky champions in here that people don't really use a lot. So
that's a funky champion that has 2-star rating on your reviews.
for Faction Wars specifically, or just generally?
General. Yeah.
So are you advocating that I should be changing it? Like
no, no, keep. But you have to work with what you get. I got the Scion and I got the soul for him. I had put him in my best gear to. It's super nice for the boss actually, because the boss heals and has like some block buff, some cool buffs, and he has the block buffs and the block healing.
Oh, okay.
So, and I thought I can use him for aim use maybe at some point. So
The heal reduction, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, 100% heal reduction on a 3-turn for Amius is actually quite good. But
I knew this would be my last faction for quite a while because I really had no champions. 2.5 months in, I still had 0 champions for this faction.
And you've ended up using him. So Achak's actually a good champ, but more of a control champion here, I guess. For your
and you
freeze.
kind of want books for him, and he needs like 18 books, so you can't really invest in him.
Yeah.
His A1 is 8 books, so if you book 8 books into A1, you wasted all your books for nothing.
Right. And most people would think, oh, Fellhound's in there for damage, but like you said earlier, he was in a fast stun set to just get you through, I guess, waves. Is that the main thing here? An extra bit of control for waves.
Yeah.
Plus, obviously, he's bringing that unkillable.
Triple whelp wave, yeah.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
The cool part about this, how I actually beat this, is because I have more or less no healing. Ashak does some healing with HP burn, but it's way too low when you haven't booked there. I had 0 healing, and it's a long boss fight, and it gets pushed back by heals from the ads and stuff. And Fellhound A2 is a small continuous heal, but it's on a 2-turn cooldown, so you can use it every other turn. I don't think anyone has really cared to use this continuous heal, but without it, I wouldn't have made the final boss, actually.
Yeah, because like you say, I mean, Eriness, I think, is another terrible champion. Like, what's she even in there
I have
for?
her, she has some fear, she has some poison, but I really only leveled her to get the resin for the fusion in case I didn't get anything good for Lizardmen.
Right, okay. Oh, I see, yeah. But yeah, I mean, she's got nothing going on. Was she in a stun set as well? No.
No. But she has fixed down the buffs, which was nice for the stopping healing stuff.
Yeah.
It's scraps.
It really is, man. It's so impressive. This team is the most impressive one. Maybe this team or the Flannan team, but yeah, this is literally, I guess, Tashan's your reviver, but otherwise...
No, he's just a speed booster.
Is he not a reviver? Oh, damn.
No. Just that small continuous heal to keep you alive. That's all.
That is a crazy team. Like, if anyone said to me, these are the champions I'm putting together for my team, I'd be like, think again. Like, you've got to have better than that. Yeah, crazy, man. And then obviously, so you're now, what, just... I don't think I've seen... I don't know if there's like a faster time than this that's ever been done. I don't think I've ever seen one. But...
Not free to play anyway. I would really doubt it.
Yeah, but just over 100 days, picking up both Mithrala and Lydia is crazy. And Arbiter. Like, you've done basically the 3, I guess, 3 early challenges that you can get in the game. I'd say Mithrala isn't even really an early challenge. That's for me, that's kind of like really moving into mid. But yeah, that's crazy, man.
I like the aspect of I like with this kind of challenges. It's so widespread. You have 15 factions. You can't just plan for I'm gonna do clan boss early, and that's gonna solve itself. So you have to have a wider scope when you're planning.
Yeah, definitely.
And Lydia, for everyone that doesn't have it, I mean, most people have it by now, I guess, but not new players. She's just this evergreen champion. Yeah. Whenever there's new content, people figure out Hydra, you can use Shamail. Who are using Shamail with? It's Lydia.
Yeah.
Chimera comes out, who are using... she's top tier. If she's not the best, but she's very good. You can just disable her... disable the Viper form completely.
Like you say, even end-game accounts with tons of mythical champions and stuff, Lydia still gets into teams. Like, she's not... Yeah, she's not someone
whenever
that just
you
gets
have a pest coming around, like Monkey King came into the game, fucking hell, what a annoying champion, sorry for cursing, but you block the revive, he's just evergreen, that's a cool champion design.
Yeah, and a cool passive, yeah, definitely. Well, man, look, thanks for coming on and sharing your progress. I guess, it's like the 3rd time you've done a free-to-play challenge with us as a group.
The next
I
one
guess
is
what
going to
keeps
be
you going?
Gold
What
Force,
keeps you
right?
going on for it again?
I'm probably not pushing faction wars if I ever do it again. But it's always, for me, I have a family. I can't really play video games on the computer as much. I need to have some gaming fix on the phone. And it's so fun to create a new account and just wing it.
Nice. Well, Souls, thanks for coming onto the channel. Hopefully everyone's learned something different there. If even if it's not for faction wars now because you've already done it, it's like starting to think about hard faction wars and the tools you bring to those different areas. It's yeah, super fun, man. Thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool. Well, guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one.